We are back, everybody. The Stars of Destiny podcast is back. Yes, we casted Yell, as I mentioned, in the post, like a week ago. Yeah, I apologize for disappearing. Me and Luca Blight, we have our own things that are happening, as we do this podcast, and as we live life. But we're gonna dive right into that. But Luca, man, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing well. I mean, all things considering, with everything that's going on with me. But yeah, so
congratulations on the behalf of everyone.
Yeah, no, for sure. Thank you. So, what Luca was just mentioning is that I just became a father as of October last year. So yeah, didn't think that. Honestly, didn't think that it was gonna happen for us, but it did, and I'm so happy about it. The wife is so happy about it. We have a little baby boy. It's a deciding factor, or we're gonna find out for me personally if I'm gonna have a little Mcdohl, or if I'm gonna have a little Sheena, a little playboy, or oh yeah, super serious guy. So yeah, really
congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. I don't know if I'm gonna have him visit you because you have some wild tendencies. I think you still have. So maybe some animal animal play, recreational stuff. But anyways, yeah. But Luca, how are you, man? How's everything been since we last spoke on the podcast?
Oh, busy.
Yeah.
Twitch has been pretty interesting. We managed to get through the Eiyuden Chronicle game that was released, Force Rising.
Nice. Okay.
And of course, we're going to talk about that game.
Mm-hmm.
We did a live reaction to the news of the Suikoden Remaster. That was a lot of fun.
Nice.
And
awesome.
Of course, we were playing through the Final Fantasy VII Remake series, but we won't talk about that because I know you are avoiding spoilers on that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think for at least that game, where I'm at right now, I'm not gonna be able to play it as it's released. So I'm probably gonna get a collection of some sort once everything is out, and then just go through it from there.
40 years from now.
Yeah, 40 years from now. Exactly. As everybody's gonna be playing Final Fantasy 21, I'm gonna be hey, I just started that Remaster 7, and probably Remaster 6 has already been out and all that stuff, but. Yeah, but yeah, so everything's going well over on Twitch for you?
Oh yeah, we're having a great time over there.
Awesome. And yeah, you were mentioning that people were excited that we were coming back, and I have to apologize. Again, we have our own things as we're doing this content creation and that sort of thing. Let me see. I gotta switch to a different video. So we have our own different things when it comes to content creation. I'm focusing on fighting games with Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8, which Tekken 8 as of right now, the tournament, the world tournament for Tekken 7 is happening. So they're showing information about Tekken 8 right now, and they just revealed, I'm dating this now, that Nina Williams just got revealed for Tekken 8. So that's cool, as
very nice.
As the entry of the series is coming. I think it's coming to fruition, towards this end point of their saga with the Mishimas and Jin Kazama and Jun, being resurrected or just coming back from not being in Tekken for a good while. But anyways, that's a different thing. So I'm focusing more fighting game stuff, King of Fighters 15, Street Fighter 6, that sort of thing. And then also Baby is here, so I gotta figure out how to balance content creation and becoming a good father at the same time. So yeah, that's what's been going on with me. Little chaotic, but I still want to do this thing, the podcast that we do, and and people were saying yeah, man, we want you guys back, and again, they were saying they just we wish we would just got more episodes and more consistency. So that's gonna be what we're gonna be trying to focus on as we come back per se. But yeah, so we don't really have much more of a structured show notes. We're just gonna be talking back and forth and how things have been. So you were mentioning, Luca, that you played and finished Eiyuden Chronicle Rising, and what are your thoughts diving into this game as we prepare for Eiyuden Chronicles, the official Kickstarter game that that was announced years ago?
Okay, so I'm gonna warn everyone right now because I'm Mr. Spoiler. Everyone knows that. So there will be spoilers that I'm gonna drop during this. That being said, it's not that big a spoiler because you know what, this game is relatively short.
Okay.
It really is. I think people expected a little bit too much out of it. It was like a side-scrolling beat 'em up game, and it was more so like an introductory to the story. Okay, it was like, here's a select few characters. Here is a little bit of world building, right? They introduce something called rune lenses and stuff like that. Like they build the story outward with their lore, and you kind of have a bit of mystery going on when it comes to the warring kingdoms and the issues politically going on. So you see a little bit of that, but not a lot. It's mostly a little tiny mining town with a weird history involved in this this mine and this mountain. Now, when we got through it, there was a lot of people disappointed with it, and I get it because most of the game was these little side missions. If you ever played Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, like 80% of the game is side missions and 20% of its story. Well, that's what this game is.
Okay.
It's mostly just like, just to kind of get you a feel of the world. So I think people need to just kind of take it as it is. You know, it's just an introductory. But the end of the game, it was where it really caught me. There was a line that I feel was pointed towards the fans, and that line was, it was from presumably a future villain. We don't know that for sure. And he was saying that this may not be the world that we're expecting, but it's the one that we have and what we're building towards. I'm paraphrasing here.
Okay.
But it was like a shout out saying like, hey, this isn't Suikoden, but it's still like us, right? We're gonna build this into what you loved with Suikoden.
Okay.
And that gives me a lot of hope because I think I have a lot of trust in these writers and these producers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, like as the I think the launch trailer of Rising is playing right now. Like yeah, I haven't played it myself, you know. And I missed there was a Steam sale and it was just like $2.99 and I missed it. I was like, oh man, I could have gotten it. But yeah, like it. Yeah, as you were saying, just playing like a side-scrolling beat 'em up, like that's up my alley because I love beat 'em ups. You know, maybe it's not going to be like super tight knit and, you know, tight mechanic sort of thing where you can juggle, like do 100 hits sort of thing. I don't know if you were able to do that as you were playing the game, you know, on your playthrough. But like, you know, if you're just a fan of like the genre itself, like beat 'em ups, character action, yeah, I mean, it looks like it can scratch that itch. It's just how much of a beat 'em up aspect is, you know, in towards this game. And like, you know, I'm just seeing the trailer right now. It's like, oh man, yeah, you can do some like crazy stuff, crazy combo stuff that you can do. Were you able to do that sort of thing as you were playing the game, where you're just straightforward, just, you know, go from point A to point B, just, you know, understanding the story and that sort of thing?
So yeah, like you were able to do some pretty interesting combos, right? You would, as you advanced your weaponry and gained your levels, you could do bigger and better things.
Okay.
And as you added characters, you could do some pretty interesting combinations. Yeah. So your main character, she could do a bunch of smaller combinations, and then you can actually have your other characters jump in, kind of like how you would with like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah. Like
a call-in.
Yeah.
From your buddy. Yeah. Well, you could do that, and it would continue the combination. You can actually switch your characters out mid-fight and continue the combinations and variations. So it's you could do some fun things. It's not the most advanced beat 'em up side-scrolling game. Like there's there's better ones out there for sure.
Yeah.
But it allowed you to do some fun, interesting things.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, you know, what were your expectations before you even played the game? Like, were you expecting like this type of like beat 'em up, or what were you expecting? Like diving
so
into
I was
Rising?
not expecting a side scroller.
Okay.
I was a little bit disappointed when I saw that. I was like, oh no, people are going to be upset. It was mostly, I actually didn't mind the game at all. It was, my perception of it was, oh no, other people aren't going to like this.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're expecting Suikoden and they're getting this.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to calm people down and tell them this is not going to be the finished product. This is not going to be what 100 Heroes is.
Yeah.
It's very different. So I was a little disappointed in projection for others.
Okay. Gotcha.
But myself, playing it, I didn't have a problem with the game. It wasn't something that was going to garner my attention all the time, that's for sure. But it did, it did pique my interest right at the end. I actually have the quote now. From someone who's called Mighty Ducks, D-U-X, not an actual duck. So you don't see his face; it's just a black screen with a thought bubble or a speaking bubble. And the exact quote is, "This world is not the one I want, but it will be."
Okay.
See how that's kind of pointed towards the fans from the writers?
Yeah, it's projecting.
This is not Suikoden,
yeah.
but it will be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I got so excited when I saw that.
Yeah.
And it made me so enthusiastic about what's coming with 100 Heroes.
Okay.
So there's that part of it. So yeah, I was pleased with it. I was pleased with the world building for sure. I liked the story. I liked the character interactions. They felt real, and you felt like some of the hardships that they had were actually, they were actually in your life. Like it was just like, oh, I can really relate to this character, and that's this character's problem.
That's cool. And I mean, I don't know if this is gonna be spoiler, but did they hint or confirm that these characters that are in Rising will be in 100 Heroes?
It feels like they're gonna be.
Okay.
I'm not sure how big of a role they'll play. They're definitely not any of the main characters that were introduced during the first preview of the 100 Heroes.
Okay.
But I can guarantee we will run into those characters, especially since people started to really warm up to them.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, again, just watching trailers and watching some videos, dude, kangaroo with a big ass sword, that's so super cool, and then, again,
Garu, he's I think his name, it's Garu. I sometimes don't know how to pronounce names, you know that.
Yeah. Right. Dude.
But he's an interesting character.
Yeah.
I'd say he actually had the most, in terms of his personality, I would say there's more to him than the others.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're all getting ready for 100 Heroes, so a dip of the toe in the water, it doesn't hurt it. And I kind of wonder what they're gonna. Wasn't there also? No, this game was the resource farming game, right? This Rising was, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I apologize. I'm a little dated on my Eiyuden Chronicle Rising, Chronicle knowledge right now. I still get all the Kickstarter emails, and I kind of stopped reading those at some point. Did you follow along with it? And you still keep following along, or just you also took a break from it as well? From those monthly emails?
I followed along decently.
Okay.
Not every single update. Some of them are just so minute that I'm just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But nice of them to keep us in the loop.
Okay.
The characters that I think that are going to be kind of prevalent in 100 Heroes, CJ, who is your main character, she seems to have some sort of relation to Noah from the look of it.
Okay.
They have similar traits from the look of them. They might have nothing to do together, but from what I can see, when you look at their characters side by side, and their heroine type, she has a very heroic type of personality. Okay. I feel like she might have some sort of relation to Noah in some way, shape, or form. Isha had the most complex storyline, being that
the mage.
She was going to be used to farm rune lenses, as this evil wizard was implanting rune lenses into people to grow them to become more powerful. Okay. And they were just basically using people as farms, which is just really dark, right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was quite interesting.
Like Matrix batteries in people, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what it was.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I mean, as we talk more and more into it, it's okay, there's levels and depths to what Rising is and what 100 Heroes is gonna be. And I mean, like I'm you know, I'm still excited for 100 Heroes, and as when I do get into Rising, like I'm gonna be just eating good, just listening to reading all the lore and like what they're gonna be doing for 100 Heroes. But yeah, so that's that. So let's see. So as that was happening, Rising happened. We're still getting the emails of 100 Heroes. Yeah, we had the announcement. Like again, my stuff is our stuff is a little dated, but we're just catching up. You know, as this is our return episode to the podcast. As the announcements of Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster happened, and like that was like what? Because you know I make the joke every year when not Evo, like E3 was happening, was like oh yes, like and a Suikoden announcement like every year, like for Konami, because they haven't done anything for the longest time, and they did it right until what, these how many like last 6 months, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was actually quite funny. I got some information from somebody who had closer information. I'm not gonna,
you had someone on the inside.
I'm not gonna drop their name or anything, because I mean they might get fired.
Sure.
So I accidentally dropped it on the podcast, or not on the podcast, on the stream.
Oh.
that Suikoden 1 and 2 was being remastered, but only a couple people caught it.
Oh.
And I was so reluctant to really talk about it for multiple reasons. One, I got burned on some false info once before, so that really sucked. When that happened, you know, it turned out to be not true. And I was like, well, that really sucks. It makes me look bad. Yeah. So this time I was really reluctant on it, and then I accidentally dropped it. And people were like, wait a minute. I watched the VOD. You just said Suikoden 1 and 2 are getting remastered. Yeah. I'm like, did I? Right? And
like I'll say anything.
Like, I was like, I'm just talking shit. What am I talking about? Literally 3 days later. I'm not even kidding. 3 days later, you get the news dropping that the release is out, and they're like, "Oh, you did know?" I was like, "I've actually known for like 3 months." I was like, "I'm surprised that it survived in my thoughts for that long." I'm surprised it didn't come out way before that.
That's funny.
But
like, I thought you got like a cease and desist or something. Konami went straight for you, like, dude.
Oh, it was funny. I immediately deleted that VOD. I was like, oh no,
yeah.
I had to get rid of it.
If there was any sort of relationship building that this podcast may have in the future, we
gotta get rid of stuff like that.
Yeah, we just gotta be nice, you know.
Can't be letting secrets drop like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I knew ahead of time, and I was just so excited the whole time. And then everyone coming to me, hey, did you hear? Yeah, I've heard it for months. So we did a live reaction, stream to it, and once again, I had dropped some information that I shouldn't have, right? But it is what it is, and it's out there now.
Yeah.
The information is there now, I believe.
Okay.
But during that, I was talking about how there was translation issues with Suikoden 1. And the main one that I was talking about that got fixed, that people didn't really know about, was when you're returning from Dwarf Village to go back to the Elf Village. Yeah. Now, you notice some weird conversations happening, right? Because as you come down, I think it's Gremio that says it.
Yeah, like they were talking like they were like, oh, we're coming back.
Yeah,
like
it'll say, after returning from Dwarf Village.
And
you're like, what is that? And then everyone started saying some weird stuff. So what happened there is when they first made the translation, that was actually a note. That was a note from the developers to the translation team that this is where they are in the story. But they put it as a line.
Yeah.
So I think it was Kirkus, or Gremio, one of the two, says that line, but the problem was when they put that in, all the other dialogue got pushed down, so everybody is saying something that another character should be saying. So that's why that whole sequence of events is messed up. All of that is fixed. Every single shred of that is fixed.
Oh, cool. Okay.
You'll notice that Necklord, for whatever reason, recognized Victor and had a conversation with Victor as if they were in present time, back when they went back in time with Ted's story. Yeah, they fixed that.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so all of that stuff that made you go, what the hell is going on here? And you're scratching your head. No, they fixed it. So Suikoden 1, with everything that they've done, they updated the... not just the graphics, but the battle system. That horrible, god-awful inventory system that I shit on all the time. fixed.
They fixed it?
It's fixed.
Yeah.
My God, I've always been a Suikoden 2 lover. You know what? Suikoden 1 might be better now. I've always said that the backstory of Suikoden 1 and the story of Suikoden 1, along with the characters, actually are better overall than Suikoden 2. It was just that the gameplay wasn't as good, the controls weren't as good, and the inventory system was literal demon. So now that they fixed that, I don't know. That being said, Suikoden 2 now looks even better than it did. So I can't wait.
Yeah. No, I keep replaying the trailer right now, and oh man, just seeing like the backdrops and like the iconic scenes of like Ryo and Nanami waiting for Joey, and then again Joey and Ryo like jumping from like the river sort of thing. Like everything looks amazing, in terms of like the backdrops of those scenes. And like if you follow like Suikoden Twitter, like they show like they do like little polls like which unite you guys want to see, or you want to see a little bit of like the battle system that we all know and love. And I was like, man, everything like looks and sounds great. The only kind of critique that I would have right now is the insect I guess flies. The buzzing is a bit too loud for my taste. I know that it was there in the original Suikoden 1 and 2, but like in the remaster it's a little bit too much like loud. But maybe that could be like by intention, where it's supposed to disorient you, sort of thing. But like what do you think when you saw like when you're seeing all the like the gameplay clips for remaster 1 and 2 right now?
So yeah, the buzzing is annoying. That's one definite thing. The good thing about games in this day and age is they often have very specific sound settings. So you can turn down certain levels.
That would be good then. Yeah.
Right. So like for example, with 7 Remake, you can drop the battle music but keep the voices, right? So if Cloud's speaking, he can still speak loudly if you just want the music lower. Like vice versa, whichever you want. You can kind of customize your sound a little bit with most new games, so I'm kind of figuring they'll do the same with that. Cool. At least I hope so. I gotta say, the battle system's beautiful. It looks fantastic. Now I'm hoping that the videos that we were shown are just a little sped up, because some of the unite attacks are going lightning fast, and I get speedrunners would love that, right? Speedrunners are in love with that, but personally I like to see it slowed down so like we can actually watch the unite attack happen. So I'm hoping that is just kind of like a sped up video.
Okay. Which video was sped up? Was it the
Ryo and Nanami on Twitter? They did a family attack, and it was very, very quick when they were doing it. I was just hoping that it was just a sped up video for the purposes of showing it multiple times.
Gotcha.
But we won't know until it's released, of course.
Yeah. And when is it dated to release?
I've been told a few different things here.
Okay. What has been official so far?
So I'm gonna look it up right now so I don't misspeak. The retail page for Suikoden 1 and 2 Remaster, Gate Rune, and Dunifin Unification Ward lists as March 9th, 2023.
Right,
that is right around the corner, literally a month away.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, it's over. It's gonna be out by then, and and I was thinking about like, oh man, what about my playthroughs that I haven't finished yet? Like, I feel like I'm gonna finish those and then maybe stream it, like once I'm able to stream again, stream the HD remasters, because I want to see the changes that they do for 1 and 2. Like, what particular changes do you want to see for both 1 and 2 as once you get the game?
So the dialogue was my main concern the whole time, and from the source I was speaking with, he's saying that it's completely, I'm fine. Like all my issues will be put to rest.
Oh, good.
He assures me.
Yeah.
So I was like, perfect, that's awesome. And then after that, I want to see more cutscenes.
Yeah.
Okay, so when Luca does the pig scene where he's murdering the townspeople and set it on fire. I want that to be a video. You know what I mean? I would love to see that as an animation.
Yeah.
Of course, I want to see the updated videos, like when we have the Beast Rune devouring the Muse people and stuff like that. But I really want to see more cinematics. I would like a little bit more lore thrown into it. Like if they had some extra lines here and there to kind of give us a little bit more information. We did hear from some of the writers that they expect that 1 and 2 are not going to be the last of the remasters.
Hell yeah, yes.
I'm not. Some of you might be hearing this for the first time, but Suikoden 3, 4,
yes,
possibly even Tactics and 5 are going to get remastered as well.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Of course, this is going to go by the dollars, right? Like how well Suikoden 1 and 2 remastered do.
Yeah.
We expect it to go very well.
Yeah.
If it does, expect 3, 4, possibly Tactics, and 5 to all get remasters. But they also said they didn't want to stop with just remasters.
Exactly, yeah.
Meaning, if they do well with these remasters, I've been saying this the whole time, guys, the more money we show Konami, the more likely we're going to get Suikoden 6, and it's coming. Yeah. It's okay. And I made a bold prediction on the stream that we're not just going to get Suikoden 6, guys. We're going to get a whole new trilogy. That's what I think.
A new saga? Yeah, that makes sense.
I think if they actually want to wrap up this story, it's going to take 3 games.
Yeah. Especially,
I really do.
Especially if the past podcast that we talk about the last area that they want to go to, and it basically talking about all the heroes from the previous games kind of being in this one and going up against I'm sorry, my where are we going again? Like my
Hikusak, where we will
yes.
find out where Hikusak is in Harmonia.
Harmonia, that's what I was like. How come the name is not coming?
Well, Harmonia is so large and such an offensive threat. It's going to take Herculean efforts from other nations to fight, and that's what we've been building towards, right? Like Scarlet Moon was like the main adversary for Harmonia, but they were corrupt, right? So it was a problem. Then the Tauran Republic took over, but because the Tauran Republic had to do their own internal war, they're a little weakened, right? And then the city-state could never work together. If when they did, they were extremely powerful, but they could never do it. But then all of a sudden they unify under the Dunan flag, and they conquer Highland, and now they're a big nation. And then in Suikoden 3, we see the Grassland tribes and Zexin finally stop fighting, and now there seems to be a united front against Harmonia. And I believe that's going to take multiple games. And I think one of the games we'll have to see something to do with Gaian, something along those lines. The countries that we haven't seen.
Right, yeah. Nameless lands.
And then we'll have to have one to do with Scarlet Moon.
Yeah.
And then we'll have, not Scarlet Moon, Harmonia. And then we will it'll be some sort of climactic finish, probably to do with the Western continent that they always talk about that nobody's been to. Yeah. It'll likely end off on some sort of Sindarian climactic ending. But I really feel, because we were building so much towards Sindar, right? Like all the mysteries of the Sindar and how old Hikusak is, it kind of points to the fact that he's either, predating them or is one of them or something along those lines. He has something to do with them. So I feel like we're eventually going to build up to it, and we're going to see a very, very climactic finish to this series. I really believe we are in store for one of the best finishes to any video game saga ever.
That would be, if they are able to pull it off, that would be amazing. Yeah, for sure.
Just imagine a 6-man party.
Yeah.
6-person party with PS5 graphics.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on.
Yeah. And the unites that they'll do now in terms of like with the horsepower.
The spells.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It'll be amazing.
It'll be godlike.
Yeah, it will be.
I would love to see, just honestly, like people might say like, oh, Suikoden 4 doesn't really need a remaster because it already looked pretty good. The spells were kind of lackluster in that game, and I think a remaster to that could really emphasize that. Also, please drop the encounter rate. My God.
Oh, it was pretty. Oh yeah, that was high. It was high. It was game break. It was a game breaker for people because like, oh man, that's all. I can't turn anywhere because I kept getting into an encounter once I'm on the ship. You know.
Yeah, like every 3 steps was a fight. Yeah. So yeah, I could definitely see why that caused problems for people.
Yeah. A remake of 5 would be great. Yeah, because 5 has not yet come out in some form or fashion, other than in its official release. So like every time it's either on like a PlayStation Store or if it's on any other place, it's only up to like 4. And yeah, not even Tactics either. Like just up to 4. So to be able to have that idea that we can possibly get, remake of 3, 4 Tactics and 5, like yes, I would love that, and see the changes of what they would want to do from there. So I mean, for me, I like it's a small thing for me as we're talking about what changes we would like to see is. I hope they don't mess with Gaspar for one remake. He was my war funding person.
Yeah, that's getting fixed, and you know it. Just like the the Matilda glitch, that ain't a thing anymore, guys.
Yeah. Oh man.
Anything that's gonna help you?
Yeah,
it's no way.
Yeah, they want us to play the game as intended, I guess. But you can always. If you want to, you can always go back and get the old version, and then just play those two and do those glitches and stuff, that fun stuff.
Fair.
So, yeah, that's the only thing that you can do. But I'm really looking forward to what's gonna be in store for Suikoden Remake 1 and 2, and if and when we're able to get the remakes of 3, 4, and 5 and Tactics, like that would be great. That would be amazing. I think there was a post, there was a tweet back then asking like if they were going to make the next Suikoden game, and maybe I've mentioned this in a podcast before, but like what would you want it to be about? Of course everybody wanted to say I'll go up against Harmonia, but I was like maybe if we want to reintroduce people to the series, like talk about Scarlet Moon as Barbossa was coming into play, and the 6 generals, how they come.
I mean, there's enough story to do it.
There's enough story to do it there. Just have like a reintroduction to like the Suikoden. People for the general public, for the people out there that have yet to play these games. You can do that, and then they could just jump right into 1, and then go from there. Like if they were to do that, like that'd be cool, because again, you said there's enough lore to go about it, and like if you read back, there's a lot of stuff that they like put out there.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh man, I would have loved to see like what the armored cavalry, as you have them, in your army, and like what you can do with them, with Tio. I would love to see that in action, and like what the other 6 generals were doing, as well. And not just be, Wendy's subjects with the Black Rune and all that stuff. Just what their abilities were, and what Barbarossa coming into the fourfold, and how he was able to come into power from there. Like that was my response to it. But if we're able to get these remakes, Harmonia is gonna be Harmonia won't be done in 1 game. It would literally be a 3-game arc, I feel.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah,
it has to be. In terms of Barbarossa and like the armed cavalry and stuff like that, we even know how the opposition dealt with that, and it was actually when they captured the small child of Tio, right? Mcdohl, your main character, was actually captured and held hostage.
Yeah.
And it was actually Gremio who saved him. So having some sort of cool, infiltration mission where Gremio saves young Tyr Mcdohl would be really cool. So I think you're onto something with that. I think you could have a lot of built backstory, and then I think you would feel more for what happens in Suikoden 1. You would maybe be a little more lenient towards some characters and a little bit more prejudiced towards others. You might be a little more inherently angry with that character. Not naming names. Leon Silverberg.
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying, like you're onto something there. Where that one would be a good one. I really feel like they talk too much about Gaian to not kind of introduce them. So I would like to see them involved in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And for once, for God's sake, let us go to Comic-Con.
Yeah, right.
My God, you talk about their wine. We talk about how some of the best swordsmen in the world come from there.
Yeah.
Let us go there, even if it's just to like pop in and say hello.
Right.
Let us see what it looks like. Like, come on.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that people are wanting from these remakes, and we'll see once we actually have the game in hand. What systems are you planning to get it for?
Just the PS5.
PS5, okay. Yeah, that's probably that's what I'm probably gonna do. But I'm thinking also Switch, just like so I can play it on the go, basically.
That's fair.
Have a handheld of it. But yeah. Is there anything else to talk about in terms of what's been going on?
Not that we would have time for.
Yeah,
we got lots of stuff we can save for next episode.
Time. Yeah, cool. Yeah. What do you have planned coming up in terms of your content right now?
Well, currently we actually just went through the remake of Crisis Core.
Oh, okay.
On Twitch, and we immediately picked it up with Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I am now playing at lightning speed, knowing that Suikoden Remaster is coming out.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to finish Final Fantasy VII Remake and Intermission, get both those storylines done, and have both of those storylines done by the times the Suikodens get released, and then we're jumping straight into that, and it's probably going to be a Suikoden stream for a very long time.
Yeah. Do you feel like? Well, I think I know you, but you're not going to really speedrun it because you want to experience everything that is new with the remasters.
Oh yeah. Those games are you can take your 40 hours and shove it. I'm going to turn it into 150.
Yeah, exactly.
Every little nuanced thing that I can. For those of you that haven't seen my stream. When you guys pop in and ask a question, I pull up a map, a detailed map of all of the entire Suikoden world, and I bring up character portraits, their bios, I bring it all up, and I show you everything that I can. Any information that I can pull, I will get. If I can't answer a question at that time, I will write it down, and I will find the answer to the best of my ability.
Awesome.
So that's what those streams are. We just sit there and we just geek out to the Suikoden world. So yeah, that first game, that first playthrough, that's gonna be a long one. There's gonna be a lot of streams coming out of Suikoden for sure.
Yeah, and and in terms of that, like new fans, like for this new year, this new decade, just a bunch of new fans of Suikoden that people may have never played these games. Like this would be a great introduction to the series, and as long as we're able to access the old games. But I know that at this point, if they're gonna put the remasters in the forefront, then the old games are gonna be sunsetted, and you're not gonna be able to access them. But if you're able to play the old games too, because if you're a new fan and you want to jump into the series, yeah, definitely check out the old games too. And then once the remakes happen, then jump into the remakes as well. So
I could see the original series being released onto something like Steam,
like a collection of some sort.
I think so. Yeah. I think we could see something like that.
I hope so, because I'd buy that. Shoot.
I think companies now are finally realizing they can't just be one platform, right? They got to be on a lot of different platforms. Mm-hmm. Before, Suikoden was like PlayStation exclusive and stuff like that. It was just like, well, it doesn't work, man. Like if you really want your game to thrive, you gotta allow a lot of different platforms to access it. So I think you'll see stuff like Steam and whatnot step up for sure.
For sure. Cool. Yeah. And then for me, like again, it's pretty chaotic. I'm trying to put out content where I can do it. So trying to find my time where I can record stuff. Let's see. I have some stuff that I recorded like before Baby was here. So like I gotta put that stuff out. For me, it's just like more fighting game stuff and trying to figure out. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not going to be able to finish all the rest of the Suikoden series old games by the time remake is here, but yeah, I'll still finish them just to say I got it done. And then once remake is here, then I'll stream it. I'll stream those as well. You know, so that's the plan for the RPG end of it. And then yeah, just trying to make more content. You know, because you know, people are enjoying the podcast for one, and you know, they're asking about it and want us to be more consistent. And two, like, yeah, like, we're fans of this series, and there's a reason why this series has yet to die. You know, because there's fans like us and fans like you guys always have it in conversation, whether it's in polls or introducing people to the game, or any sort of thing that can show Suikoden, you know, in its fullest. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call it here. It's gonna be a shorter episode. Again, we're just reintroducing that we're here, we're back. We'll try to figure out when the next episode is going to be, and then we'll probably start reaching out to you, the community, like, hey, you know, what do you guys want us to talk about? And we'll talk about and bring up topics that way too. So that's it for me. You can find me at Nerd in the Bay on YouTube and on social media, everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I'm on TikTok now too, and that sort of thing. And then at Marco Polo 177 is my personal you know, social media. But where can people find you, Luca? Where are you at now these days?
At this point, you're mostly just gonna find me on Twitch. Okay. Instagram's never really been my thing, and you know, Twitter's on fire. So I believe the best way to get a hold of me would be, you know, just come to the Twitch channel for sure.
Cool, awesome. So yeah, that'll be it for us here at Stars of Destiny podcast. Guys, thank you so much for listening or watching wherever you're, you know, gonna be, you know, digesting this episode. Yeah, we plan to return and be more consistent moving forward. Just got to figure out how to find the time and record these episodes. But yeah, thank you guys so much for listening and watching. We'll see you guys next time in the next episode of the Stars of Destiny podcast. Take care, guys.